the devil loves to fake like he's gone so he can leave a root in you so he can grow all over again and reproduce the fruit. But this time he said, I want you to get this red heifer that's got to be spotless, no blemish on her, and take it and burn the whole thing in its sight, its hide, its flesh, its blood, all of the entrails, everything in it. I want to get the whole thing. I want to deal with all of the sin that is there. Take care of all of it. And the priest shall take cedar wood. This is a prophetic type of Calvary. Cedar wood and hyssop. You remember when Jesus was on the cross and they brought hyssop and put it to his mouth and he refused it? See, take hyssop and scarlet and cast them in the fire, in the midst of the fire, burning the heifer. And so he will consume all of these things. This becomes a type of Christ being consumed for the sake of our sin. This is an offering for sin that is once and for all. And it was burned completely to cleanse them. And then notice verse 9. Then a man who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and store them outside the camp in a clean place, and they shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel. For the water of purification, it is for purifying from sin. And then notice verse 17. And for the unclean person, they shall take some of the ashes of the heifer, burnt for purification from sin, and running water shall be put on them in a vessel. A clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, sprinkle it on the tent, on all the vessels, on the persons who were there, on the one who touched a bone, the slain, the dead, or a grave. May I just tell you that the reason that he says to gather up the ashes, because you do know that matter can be neither created nor destroyed, it only changes forms. So what God is saying is that I'm going to take the stuff that has been represented as sin in your life, and I'm going to burn it up, and I'm going to change it into a form that it becomes ashes. And when I make it ashes, because it becomes a symbol that I have pulverized your sin, and you will never ever be able to regather it and put it back together again. And I think that some of us need to realize that picture, that when Jesus has dealt with it, when he died for it, when he went through fire for it, he scattered it, never to be regathered again. Isn't it something that the best of investigators wouldn't be able to come and put your ashes back together and show that this was who you were? They would never be able to paint a picture and show anybody anything that could be remotely identified as you, because the ashes have been scattered. And God wants to bring redemption to things that burn you up. I mean, you've been through the fire, but it has not been without purpose. God changed your form in the fire. When you go through the fire, you don't come out the same way that you went in. Your form has changed, and stuff that used to be up now is down in a pile. And you can't tell the difference between a human body and a tree that was burned. When the ashes all comes, God reduces it to ashes. And it's just a reminder to us that our sin against us has been reduced down to the ashes.